Dolphins executives and things along those lines?
Well, my night really hasn't even, ended just because, after the draft immediately had, after I was selected, you had a bunch of media stuff, media obligations and things like that you had to do. And then I just couldn't sleep all night, just so excited, the adrenaline and everything, just being around my family. Everybody's excited. I'm excited to be here, so I really couldn't sleep. And then this morning, 7 o'clock, car was waiting for me outside, took me to the airport. I got a couple hours of sleep on the plane, so which was good. So I'm able to be here in front of you guys, looking nice and sharp, nice and shiny. So that was cool. And then came right here, meeting with you guys.
Did Mr. Austin the jet for you?
Say again?
Do you have the private jet?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't get to do the private jet. Something about budget cuts or something like that. But,
Make sure that the commissioner will never forget your name.
Oh, yeah. Right, no, I think I did that last night, but just got too excited, man. And that's on Coach and everybody involved who made the decision to get me, because that's on them. I just got too excited, man. This is just what I've been dreaming about my whole life, and it's what I've been working towards, and I just feel like I'm ready for it, and I'm just so excited and just honored and blessed to be here and be in this position.
Guy, you weren't afraid that you knocked him down?
I know, but he was pretty solid. He was way more solid than I thought. Like he got some oomph. It kind of hurt me a little bit, but he's a pretty solid guy. I'm glad he was able to do the selection. Yeah, we come back out for that. But yeah, he almost didn't make it there, but I'm glad he did. So.
What do you think when you saw the picture of the two of you colliding like that?
First thing I thought, I was like, look at that vert. I had to show off my athleticism just a little bit. I hope that Dolphins fans and everybody's seen a little bit of my athleticism in that, but that was cool. He's kind of just like, cowering, seeing me, like late reaction. It was pretty funny. Something that I'll remember forever. I'm sure he won't forget it either.
Christian, what more than anything do you want this team and its fan base to know about you?
First of all, speaking about the fan base, I mean, they've been great so far to me, just on social media, everything. Just love what the fans have been sending me, just all through Twitter, Instagram, and everything. I just definitely feel, like already just a part of the family and everything, the way they've accepted me already, just not even 24 hours of being a part of this team. But yeah, really, I just want everybody just to know that, the biggest thing about me is, I just feel like I'm just essentially, I don't mean it in an arrogant way, it's just the total package. Someone who, gives their all on the field, wants to be the best at what I do, but also just, the type of guy getting off the field who's going to try to do everything right, be the example, lead in the best way I know how, serve my teammates, and do everything I can for those guys around me, because I just feel like my purpose and my responsibility here on this earth and in life is just to make everyone around me better and serve others.
You're still enjoying the moment, but you're the type of guy who, like, as soon as you got drafted, you're like, I just want to be out on the football field now without that helmet.
I'm just ready to work. Like, I want to get started as fast as I can, and it's good that I know where I'm going to be. I have my home, just because just that peace, and now I could start to get into routine and things, and not travel and do all those things. So it's just good to have just to know that this is my home now. And I could just get started and train and do the things I need to do to get me as ready as possible for the day one when I have to show up.
When you're lining up, what's going through your head when you see opposing offensive linemen and the quarterback?
Well, really, just first thing you got to think about is you kind of always want to think situationally. A lot of things are situational. Get the call, things like that, down the distance, all that stuff, and really just each play, just be the best you can on this play. Give it all. Every play means a lot. There's so many times where you see games and stuff come down to one play, so you can't afford to take any plays off or anything like that, and just really be great on that play and just respect the game every play, just by the energy you bring and the effort you bring as well.
What do you think it would be like to sack Tom Brady?
Y'all bear with me though, because I grew up a Patriots fan. I'm from Massachusetts, so I got to cut me some slack. I know. So something like that would be cool. But I'm gonna have to put the work in before I even get that opportunity to sack Tom Brady. So I got a lot of work ahead of me.
Christian, what made you get into substitute teaching, and how much did you enjoy that?
I mean, that was great. That was a great experience. And I just got into substitute teaching just because last year when I decided to come back to Clemson, I already had my degree, which was great. So I had a lot of free time in the spring, and wasn't in the classroom setting per se. and I still like to challenge myself intellectually and do things that'll continue to enhance my education and my knowledge about things. So I was like, what's something I could do where I could, have a nice little job, get some cash, some little pocket change. Anything helps a college student. And then I was like, what's something I'd be good at too? And my brothers actually are teachers as well. So I was like, let me look into substitute teaching. I looked into that. And that was an amazing experience just because I learned so much from those kids thinking, I was going there thinking I was going to teach them, but they taught me a lot in return. And it was just really just really fulfilling because, again, like I said, I'm here to serve and being able to be a positive, male influence and role model and just to be so relatable and, touchable, as someone who's looked in the Clemson community as like as a superstar essentially, that was just a cool experience for me.
What were the ages of the kids and what did you teach specifically?
Oh, yeah. So I mostly taught high school and in elementary school, kindergarten and stuff. Wasn't messing with middle school. The middle schoolers are different. So, yeah, they're a little different. But, yeah, so I mostly did, like, kindergarten, some special ed and things like that. But it was cool. I felt like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop. They were crawling all over me, everything. Like, I'm, they're all running to Mr. Wilkins, Mr. Wilkins. And it's funny, they're calling me Mr. Wilkins. I'm like, dude, like, my name's Christian. Like, it's just funny just to, have that power and, like, I don't know, like, just being that teacher role. So.
Were any of them intimidated by your size? And if so, was it your smile that broke them down, your personality?
I mean, I feel like, that, like, little kids, like, the innocence of little kids, like, they don't, what I'm saying, they just, like, love people. So, like, they kind of love the thing like, about my size. And they're looking at me, like, one kid even said, like, first day I walked in, he's like, whoa, that's one big mister. The first day I walked in. So it's just funny, and they just, they warm up to you pretty quick, and you warm up to them, and it's awesome.
Is there a great player or players that you try to model yourself after?
There's not like anyone specifically I try to model my game after, but there's a lot of players that I like and have a lot of respect for. A lot of guys in the league now too. I just try to take a little bit of everybody's game. If I see a move or if I see something that works, or see guys who are well respected in this league, I definitely try to take a little bit of something, or like look into them and be like, why is that guy successful? So I could learn from them and take it into account for how I want to the type of player I want to be.
What do you think of being reunited with Tank?
Oh yeah, Tootie, that's my man. Yeah, Tank. I mean, I think that's awesome, man. Tootie's was a great teammate with me at Clemson. I was around him for 2 years. Awesome dude. I'm excited to see him and be around him, and also Dwayne too, another Clemson guy who's been like a big brother to me. Every time he comes around Clemson, he shows a lot of love. Just a great guy. Someone who I've been able to get close with over the years.
What went into your thinking in returning for that fourth year at Clemson? Were you tempted to jump?
Yeah, no, I definitely was. A lot went into my decision as far as coming back and whatnot. But, there's a lot of reasons and everything. But ultimately, just the short of it, like, I just wanted to, finish my college experience out the right way and finish strong and improve in those areas of my game where I thought were lacking before I made that jump going to the NFL. And especially because I realized this is a man's game and a man's league. And I wanted to be as polished as possible and, come in and be able to come in day one ready to help a team. And I feel like just this last year I got so much better from just a technical standpoint, just a knowledge standpoint, just the game of football and everything. So I just feel like it was so beneficial. And everything I wanted going into the year, I got. I mean, got closer with my teammates, got better on the field, won a national championship, just things like that you can't really put a price on. That was just so special to me and memories I'll have forever.
You're going to play in the same conference with Quinn and Williams and Al Oliver. What do you compare to those guys, and how do you see yourself taking praise or criticism against those guys?
Yeah, no, those guys are definitely two great talents, and you've seen them do it all this past year and in previous years. Those guys are definitely really talented, and I got a lot of respect for them. I was able to get close with them just throughout this whole college the college experience and everything. Those guys are really talented. And I'm looking forward to see what they do, and I'm sure it'll be good because we're cool, we're all close, but we also compete with each other as well. So I'm sure there'll be some little competitions here. I'm just looking forward to see what we all can do.
Regarding your grandfather, where were you when you found out that he had passed, and was there anger, or how did you?
Well, I wasn't at his house that night because I was living with him. I actually stayed somewhere else that night. So the next morning I get a call and everything, and the news was broken to me. It wasn't really much anger. It was just like, kind of just like, man, like that's my dude. I lost my man. You know what I mean? But then quickly, I realized that, there's no reason to pout. There's no reason, that's not going to bring him back. So I just made a decision, pretty shortly after that, I'm going to be his legacy, and he's going to live on, through me. And that's something that I try to bring each and every day, and just bring his energy, his spirit, So when you see me, you see my grandfather. None of y'all know him, but if you know me, if you see me, you see my grandfather. So.
Where you lived with him a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you live after that?
Well, I was up in Framingham, Massachusetts, and then I moved back to Springfield, Massachusetts, which is about an hour away. With my mom. Yeah.
Christian, why were you able to bond with kids so much? I believe that I read there was a special needs kid that you really bonded with, and why? Why were you able to make that?
Well, I bond with kids so much, too, because I feel like, it takes a kid to know a kid. I feel like, I'm a big kid, but also, like, I'm very, serious when I need to be and know there's a time and a place, but I have a childish spirit to a degree, but not in a way to where it's, too much to where you can't get anything done or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I just see the potential in little kids, and it's cliche, but they are our future, and just the innocence, and just knowing that I can impact, someone's life, because that's something that, when I was younger, I always wanted role models and seek role models, and people that I could look up to and be like, okay, that's who I would like to be like. You know what I mean? So I try to always just be as relatable as possible to the kids, and do everything I can for them.
Jim, what kind of kid were you? Take us back to when you were just,
I was just a young, little chubby, little no neck, head and shoulders, little kid, but still kind of just always been the same person like that I am now, just older and more mature, still playful, still joking. A lot of that is just because I've been in the household of, 8 brothers and sisters, so I was kind of always the youngest, so that I needed some maturity because I always wanted to do what the older kids wanted to do. But then I was always the youngest, so I could get away with joking and doing little things here and there. You know what I mean? So that's really why I am who you see in front of you.
You said this is living out a dream for you.
Mm-hmm.
When was that dream born?
Really, I would say I remember the second, third grade when I first was signed up for football and wanted to play football, because I remember just watching Reggie White highlights and Emmitt Smith highlights and stuff like that. I know Emmitt Smith. I wanted to be a running back and do all that too. All the great safeties that I grew up watching play. Those were the guys who I just saw NFL football and just loved every bit of it when I was just a little kid. So when I was about 7, 8 years old, that's when the dream began for me. I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to play at the highest level, someday. And so I was 7, 8 when that happened. I'm 23. I just went to work and and now I'm just so blessed to be in this position.
Couple more guys.
It's been a great day or a great 24 hours for Clemson between yourself, Cullen, and Dexter Lawrence, and now Dabo Sweeney got a new deal.
I know.
You saw that?
Yeah. I mean, no, that's awesome for Coach, and it's well deserving, for Coach. I'm definitely gonna have to hit him up. We're gonna have to go break his back at a steakhouse or something like that. All the guys are gonna have to get together, and but he's well deserved. Knowing all the things he's been able to accomplish in his time at Clemson is it's clear, it's evident what he's been able to do and how he's been able to change that program around and get a couple national championships and things like that. It's just really special being around a guy like that. So he's more than deserving of that. And I'm just so excited for my brothers. They'll be my brothers for life, whether we're on different teams now, but those are still my guys forever. And, we'll continue to push each other even though we're not with each other on the day in and day out grind and on the day in and day out basis. And I'm excited for all my other guys, from Clemson who will get drafted because, there's something to Clemson, man. We're just a little different. We see the big picture. We like accountability. We like discipline, and we understand the importance of team and hard work.
mentioned last night that you hope to fill that void that D. Wade has in the city. What do you think you have to do to endure yourself, select that for a city that needs a star?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was just kind of joking about that, but why not? It's something I could, but I just have to. I'm just worried about working as hard as I can now and just being myself, because something, that we talked about a lot at Clemson and that I realized to be true is just, you do the little things, the common things in an uncommon way, and you command the attention of the world. So if I just do the little things right on a day in and day out basis, be who I am, and just be happy about who I am and be myself, I'll just command the attention of the world, and, people will take note. It'll be infectious. People, will gravitate towards me. So, but right now I'm just focusing on being the best I can each and every day, day in and day out.
Tweet to you or DM you maybe after he saw those?
I don't know. I haven't really looked. My phone's been blowing up. It's been frozen and things like that. So I haven't seen anything.
Let's do a photo real quick. Okay, everybody else?
All right. Really young. Small for the TVs in the back. Appreciate it.
Excuse me.
Hey, JP, guys.
Not yet, not yet. Thank you.
Do you know what number you want?
I do not know what I want, but unfortunately it won't be 42. Maybe unless I play some outside factory or something.
Donovan Mike will still right out.